A while ago, an interesting article related to health was reported in a local newspaper. It was about a survey among doctors. When asked what kind of food they try to stay away from, doctors answered they avoid soda more than coffee or hamburgers. We all know that soda is not good for our health, but oftentimes we enjoy the refreshing feeling it provides. Also, there are some foods that go really well with soda, such as hamburgers or pizza. But, in general, soda is infamous for hurting your health. First, the corn syrup is the main problem. A can of Coke is known to contain 39 grams of sugar, which is equal to 7 sugar cubes. What's worse is that the sugar in soda is in the form of corn syrup, which is absorbed faster into your body than granulated sugar. The sugar triggers an insulin spike that can make you feel good temporarily. Unfortunately, these spikes can cause high blood pressure and eventually diabetes. Phosphoric acid in soda prevents calcium absorption and is bad for your bones and teeth too. But these medical facts don't dissuade many people from enjoying soda. It may be bad for our health, but good for our palate. For those who can't part with soda, doctors' advice is simple. Try to drink less soda, and if you want to, dilute it with ice. Our bodies are genetically wired to crave and consume sweet things. When we eat sugar, our bodies store fat, which is a survival mechanism to stay alive when food was scarce. Food companies know this, and that is why they put sugar in everything. You can enjoy soda, but the medical professionals suggest to do so in moderation. Medical professionals tell us that soda is detrimental to our health. Pop is worse than coffee and fast food. So in the first part, I said medical professionals, just another way of saying experts or doctors. So the person could be a doctor, but also a nutritionist could be a medical professional. And that soda is detrimental to our health. If something is detrimental, mean it's bad for you or has a negative effect. Now, in the second sentence, I said pop is worse than coffee and fast food. So I want to talk about the word soda, pop, and Coke. So first, I'm from New York. We use the word soda. I grew up between New York and I would visit my family in California, and they said soda too. But one day I was in college and a friend of mine from Washington State said, "Hey, I want to get some pop." I said, "What's pop?" And he goes, "Pop, like Coke or Sprite." So I found out that in the middle of the country in the Northwest, they don't say soda, they say pop. So if you go to a restaurant, they'll say, "What kind of pop do you like? Do you have Diet Coke?" "Yes, we do." Also, down in the southern regions, the word soda equals Coke. So if you go to a restaurant, they'll say, "What kind of Coke would you like?" "Oh, I would like a Sprite." So the word Coke is the same as the word soda. So you could say people are drinking a lot of Coke these days. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean Coca-Cola. It means all soda brands. So soda is the main one we use on the East Coast, West Coast. In the middle of the country, it's pop. Down south, it's Coke. It is safer to drink coffee and eat junk food than consume soda. Doctors warn that soda is the main culprit of our health problems. So I said it's safer to drink coffee and eat junk food. So a lot of Koreans, they mix up fast food and junk food. So fast food refers to the food you would get at McDonald's or Burger King that comes quickly. But junk food is kind of encompasses everything. Junk food can be fast food, but junk food is all foods that are bad for you. So for example, cookies are junk food. Chips are junk food. So anything that is not good for you, fried chicken is junk food. So all these foods that are bad for you are what we call junk food. Fast food could just mean the restaurant you go to. So for example, if you get a salad at McDonald's, it's fast food, but it's not necessarily junk food. And then finally, I said, doctors warn that soda is the main culprit of our health problems. So the main culprit, a culprit is a person who commits a crime, but a culprit can also be something that is the negative cause of something. So in this case, if you're drinking too much soda and you're getting fat, that's the main culprit. It's not the other things you're doing. Soda contains high fructose corn syrup, which is the worst for our bodies. Side effects of too much sugar can cause hypertension, hardened arteries, and eventually type 2 diabetes. So I said high fructose corn syrup. That's the official name for the sugar that comes from corn. So we shorten it by just saying corn syrup, but usually when you read it on a can, it'll say high fructose. Fructose is a type of sugar, corn syrup. And then I said it can cause hypertension. Hypertension is just the medical term for high blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, you also have hypertension. And finally, I said type 2 diabetes. So there's two types of diabetes. Type 1 is the one that you are born with. So some children are born with diabetes. They have to regulate their insulin and blood sugar all their life. But if you get too fat, you eat too much sugar, your body can develop diabetes. So we call that type 2 diabetes, which means that you got it when you were an adult. The sugar in soda triggers an inflammatory response in our cells that hurt our arteries, increase blood pressure, and can cause adult onset diabetes. So I said, the sugar in soda triggers an inflammatory response. So to trigger means if there's a cause, there's an immediate effect. It starts something. And an inflammatory response. So inflammation is when we get hurt or our cells begin to bruise. So for example, if you fall down and hit your knee, you're going to be cut and you're going to be bruised. There's a lot of inflammation, which means pain. But when sugar goes inside our body, it's like you're punching your cells and your cells are getting hurt. So that when the cells get hurt, there's an inflammatory response. The cells are kind of in pain, and that causes really bad things like cancer or increased blood pressure. Finally, I said it can cause adult onset diabetes. Adult onset diabetes is another way of saying type 2 diabetes. It means you did not have diabetes, but got it when you were older. Phosphoric acid and other artificial colors and preservatives in soda are bad for our bones and teeth. So I said phosphoric acid, other artificial colors and preservatives. So usually when we talk about food that's not good for us, we say it has a lot of artificial colors and flavors, and or it has a lot of preservatives. So if you look at like anything that's in a package, you'll see phosphoric acid, you'll see citric acid, you'll see some sort of benzic acid, yellow dye number 5. These are all we call preservatives. So they preserve the food to keep it fresh so it doesn't spoil, but also it's very unnatural and it's a chemical. So a lot of people say to avoid foods with preservatives. A lot of preservatives in soda prevents calcium absorption, which weaken our bones and teeth. So I talked about prevents calcium absorption. We also talked about bioavailability is another word. But when you eat any sort of food, your body will absorb the nutrients. It'll absorb the protein, the vitamins, and all the minerals. But this chemical phosphoric acid will prevent the calcium from your stomach into your bloodstream, and then your bones and your teeth won't get the natural calcium you need to stay strong. And some even think it actually gets rid of calcium in your body, making it weaker. So when we talk about vitamin absorption or calcium absorption, that means the food in your stomach is being absorbed in your body so your body can use these vitamins and minerals. We know soda is bad, but it tastes so good. There is nothing better on a hot summer day. So I want to talk about, we know soda is bad, but it tastes so good. It's usually an expression we use to kind of justify a feeling that we have that we know it's bad, but we really enjoy it. So like, ice cream's bad, but it tastes so good. Or, beer is bad for you, but it tastes so good. Meaning that like we understand that it's not good, but we really enjoy it. And then we say there's nothing better on a hot summer day. So when we say there's nothing better means it's the best. So for example, you've been out all day in the summer and then you put a nice Coca-Cola on ice and drink it. And that feeling you get, you're like, there's nothing that could be better right now. It kind of means there's the best thing. Soda is a guilty pleasure. A nice ice cold soda on a hot summer's day is the perfect refreshment. So I said soda is a guilty pleasure. Now, a guilty pleasure is something that you know is bad or something that doesn't have great quality, but you enjoy it anyway. Now, a guilty pleasure can be a food, but it could also be a song or a movie. So, for example, if you really like a song and not many people like it, or you're driving in your car with your windows down and the song comes on, you roll up your windows and turn on the volume. That means you don't want anyone to hear or notice that you're listening to this song. Also, for example, if you enjoy like a really bad movie, but you enjoy it a lot, it's a guilty pleasure. So it can mean anything that's not good, but that you enjoy in secret is a guilty pleasure. And then finally, I said a nice ice cold soda is the perfect refreshment. So a lot of Koreans use the word refresh, but they use it incorrectly. So you can have the feeling of refreshment or the feeling you can have the feeling that you are refreshed, but also we use the word refreshment as a noun. So if you go to a place, for example, you go to a beach in the summertime, you'll see a place and a sign that says refreshments. Refreshments are things like snacks or cold drinks that you can get to feel better for a short period of time. So you can say the refreshment stand, that's a place where you would buy, say, soda or beer, water, chips, cookies, whatever. Those are refreshments. Thank you guys, and I want to thank everyone who purchased the Konglish Killer book. It's been a big help for Practicus and myself and to help support this publishing company and the podcast. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.